told Foxy it's your birthday, not for real, just for play. This is Cree Summer, and Moana Nui will be right back.
Good evening and welcome to our August edition of Moana Nui After Dark presents Whatcha Watchin. Joined here by my wonderful panel as always. How is everyone doing this evening?
Doing good.
Great.
Outstanding.
Excelsior.
For those of you who may be looking to see, might be confused a little bit. Yeah. You're not seeing things.
Every time I see Kyle or talk or even think of Kyle, it always comes out sounding like Cartman. Kyle, what are you doing, Kyle?
Your eyes are not playing tricks on you. Kyle is back again. This is 2 in a row.
Man, I watched Marvel stuff this week, man. It's crazy. What kind of world we living in?
So we got a wonderful show planned for this evening. As always, it's your only warning. Spoilers. This is it. You haven't seen stuff, that's on you. We're going to be talking Eyes of Wakanda. We're going to be talking Fantastic Four. And you know what? Let's just get into it because we were a little bit hyped before the show started. Let's start with Eyes of Wakanda. 4-episode anthology series set in the world of Wakanda. Basically set in the environment of the war dogs that we basically got a little glimpse of in the first Black Panther film because T'Challa's uncle was a war dog, which sets up the whole thing of Killmonger coming in. So everyone's initial thoughts, impressions of what we got in what we all agree is way too short of a series.
Right. I guess I'll start. I was thoroughly pleased with what we did get. First episode, noticing Cress Williams as the voice of the lion. I was like, what's Black Lightning doing here? But yeah, great first initial episode. Second episode is probably my favorite because you had the kind of a time period you would never think that you would mix Wakanda with, as far as with ancient Greece. I thought that was awesome. Like Achilles' relationship with the war dog there. I thought that was excellent. I thought it was really well written, really well animated. The entire series really well animated. So yeah, I thought it was a great series. But I agree, entirely too short of a series. We should have at least gotten 6. I think 6 episodes would have been better as opposed to 4. But I'm appreciative of what we got. Very well executed. So yeah.
Furious?
Oh, I loved it. I still don't think 6 is enough. I wanted like 13. Then again, I want to go back to the days of having 23 episodes in a series. I really do want to go back to those days because even though some of the episodes ended up being filler, sometimes you jump back to filler in later seasons and they will have a payoff. That being said, 4 episodes was definitely not enough. My favorite complete episode was the 3rd episode. My favorite sequence was the entire last half of the 4th episode.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things to me that stood out was I did love in the 2nd episode how they worked in Achilles' heel into the story. And hell, since we're spoiling it, so in episodes 2 and 3, I really think they could have approached those from a storytelling perspective of, so at the end of 3, when he's talking to the Iron Fist, she tells him, all you had to do was tell me why you're here and I could have helped you. He snuck in. Shouldn't say he snuck in because from what we saw, that's the thing. When she carried him from the crash site.
He snuck in. He snuck in.
No, but hold on. That's where I'm going. When she carried him from the crash site, it really had me wondering who was playing who in that moment. Because was he really faking it? Was he really in need of her help? Because if he was faking it, then he played the long game, letting her heal him, feeding him the soup and all of that stuff to kind of gain her trust. So it's just one of those things where, again, was he playing the role the whole time, or did he actually end up needing help? And that was how he got his way in. I personally don't really know.
So I would say, and just to echo everybody else, I thought this was a great series. I would love to have another season. I would love to have more episodes. I don't need 23 or 26 because that's a lot. But since I'm in my K-drama era, 16 is good. 8 and a half season and another 8, all of that. Not just 4. But about that Iron Fist episode, he may have been planning to sneak in, hide the jet, because the jet was fine. And so unless he was sneaking out from time to time to fix it up, which I doubt, the jet was fine. So he got in there and got hurt somewhere along the way, which does make you believe that maybe he faked the whole thing. But how do you know they're going to bring you to that village? They could have just threw you off the cliff. Like, that was the gamble. I think he was hurt. But then since he was hurt, it makes sense that, the protector of the area is going to be the one to bring him back in, because who else would you trust to bring somebody in? Now, after that, he's a fuckboy. Like, you in there in her house, eating her food, and then steal from her. I would chase you down and beat the crap out of you too. All you had to do was ask. Do all this.
Yeah. And to me, the same thing with the episode on Achilles. He could have told him, hey, look, there's this thing they got that I need to get. I'm going to help you complete your mission to take them bastards out. Yep. But I got my own mission I need to accomplish.
Yeah. But these are the parameters of the War Dogs. Like, their mission reigned more than anything else. It didn't matter. Use whatever attachments you got to use whatever tactics you got to use. The mission first and foremost.
But why isn't honesty a tactic? Is the thing.
Well, see, I think trained
that way.
I think that factors into one of my. I'm sorry. What'd you say, Kyle?
I was gonna say it's secrecy above anything else. Not that they weren't being honest; it's that they were being secretive as far as what their true intentions were. Secrecy is like the thing.
A sin of omission. They just didn't tell the whole story. Yeah,
right.
And that plays into one of my biggest issues with Wakanda from a historical standpoint, and which is why I kind of understand Killmonger. You just decided to close yourself off from the rest of the world. And while, yes, you do need to take care of home first, the fact that you said, fuck everybody else, to me was slightly problematic.
Yeah.
So, because if you think about, you're right. I was with Killmonger up until he burned all the herbs. I was with Killmonger. I was like, I'm Team K. But you ain't had to burn them herbs, bro. I mean, there's other people out here. But him saying that they basically let slavery happen because they knew about it.
Yeah.
They had the technology to stop it. And it doesn't matter if your technology gets discovered or whatever, they'll think it's magic. Let it be magic. Y'all are a bunch of avenging demons who we can't take nobody from the dark continent because it's a bunch of demons down there that fly in invisible and come and get you. That could have been fine, but they didn't even try. And I think that's what pissed Killmonger off. And ultimately, as we see throughout the War Dogs missions, it's all about keeping the secrets of Wakanda, not actually helping anybody, and which all leads to, and then that's what I love about the tie-in for the 4th episode. Their desire to stay isolated is their ultimate downfall.
Yep.
And so they go back to letting something get discovered so they can set off that chain of events, like you said in that last episode. And I love that they ended with Killmonger.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And in the museum, like we saw on BP1. So
Now question. That lion mask, that's the same mask that Eric Killmonger uses as far as that's very cool. Very, very cool.
Because they whoever drew that scene did a wonderful job of animating how we open up on him in Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Even the subtle rocking back and forth that he was doing as far as the animation, I thought that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But we go to the first episode, like you said, Joy. You mentioned their isolationism.
Mm-hmm.
Along with their mission was like first and foremost like the ultimate priorities. Like we don't need to be discovered by the outside world. Like we don't need to mess with them. Like the outside world is chaos and everything. And the fear was that, we send these War Dogs out and they may never want to come back, which we saw in the first episode. a dude went out there, saw the world was pretty much ass, and was like, I'm gonna fix this because we have the technology, we have the tools, we can make the world a better place. I'm not saying he went about it the right way, but that's how you end up with zealots when you pretty much when you have closed yourself off for basically generations. Because based on that first episode, that dude had been out there a minute with all the warriors he had collected. And he didn't just collect, like, you know,
it was a rainbow coalition.
Exactly. Yeah. He got people from multiple countries at the height of their tools for that era and had them just out there wrecking shop. I mean,
it's the wrecking shop part though, because remember he was enslaving people, and so he was closer to the king in the king God King in
300.
Thank you. He was closer to him, picking up everybody, getting all their technology and everything, and having his mystique and whatever with these mysterious things, that mysterious tools nobody knew how to use. But you're gathering slaves along the way too. If it's really about freedom and liberation, and I can help everybody, why you got to force people? Why you got to brand them? I didn't like the branding either. So all of that was bullshit. Yeah, I mean, he got out there and he saw that he had technological advantage over everybody.
Yes. Right.
And he's like, I can rule this shit.
Yeah, that was probably, I guess that's the example of the worst extreme of supposedly trying to do the right thing and taking it to its further ill intent. Right,
because Sterling Brown, also known as Killmonger's father, he was trying to help out in the West Coast, and he was like, get strapped, but he was still going about it, and I can see where Killmonger gets his violence from, because he was straight up about to shoot some people. We don't know what they were going to do, but I love the idea that isolationism is never the long-term answer.
Right. Very, very much so. Like at some point you have to interact with the outside world, because you're going to have generations down the line who pretty much just want to go out and explore.
Yeah.
We see that even in the 4th episode with the prince on the mission. He is so chatty because he's like, 1, he's excited to be out there, and 2, he's trying to like make sure like his own legacy is remembered, because he's the second son, third son, sorry, and about to have a third sibling on the way that no one else knows about. So he's like, "What? I don't have a legacy. Like my oldest brother's going to be king one day. The other brother's out doing his thing and make."
That was a good moment. That was a really good moment. He's like, "So what am I supposed to do?"
Exactly. And it's like at that point in that period where they were, people of maybe his generation probably just want to just explore and see the world. Like they know that, all right, things are great here in Wakanda, but this can't, I mean, is this everything?
I mean, it's the same reason we all like left home to go to school, right? There's got to be more out here than this.
True. But yeah, for me though, the 3rd episode with the Iron Fist, easily my favorite of the 4. Just the fact that, as we said before the show, that she went in there and hand to hand just handled everybody not named the Black Panther, pretty much.
Right. And you know what? If you think about it, the Wakandans, for all their technology, they're not really that stronger than anybody else. They got handled by the Namekians. What were they called? The Nemurians? What was it?
Atlanteans.
The Atlanteans got handled by the Atlanteans handily. Like they was losing. Right.
But the Atlanteans do have the advantage of, I don't know if it's super strength, but they are much stronger and much more durable than the Wakandans. They do have that advantage.
The Wakandans got handled by the Atlanteans. Clearly, their martial arts, because they're isolated, they ain't learned no new techniques or whatever. So the Iron Fist came in there like, we'll shoot and whoop their tail. So maybe if they spend a little more time outside, they could be stronger. Because from a biological standpoint, diversification is always going to strengthen the base. So if you want to be the strongest, you need to make sure you're picking up things from other streams, other cultures, And how come they're not inbred after all this time? That's a valid question.
I got nothing.
Population is sufficiently large?
No. Not if you're not expanding your borders. Now, I will say the genetic diversity in Africa has been tested and proven to be more diverse. Think Lilu in The Fifth Element, where she had like so many haplogroups There are more haplogroups in the continent of Africa than in anywhere else, because everywhere else is a knockoff of a knockoff. So they got less diversity. So they probably could last longer, but not no 2,000 years. Somebody gonna have a big ass forehead in 2,000 years.
The other question though that I have was, and I don't know much about the historical aspect of the Iron Fist, but there was that line where she said she defeated the dragon, and I forget the rest of that line, but do we know if she's the first Iron Fist? Because she made a line about she defeated a dragon and something I pulled from his soul. Because when I first saw her, my initial question was, can she do the thing with her fists?
And she could.
And she could. And then she made that line about defeating the dragon and pulling something out of his soul. And it just kind of has me. I wish I'd have thought to look it up before now, but is she the first Iron Fist?
I was going to say,
No.
wasn't there? I was going to say, well, no, that's a what if. That's a what if episode. Cause like, what if they had that episode in the 1800s? But that's a what if episode. That's not the main Marvel timeline.
Why do you say no so vehemently, Miles?
So the dragon that all the so that's a test for all the Iron Fists. They have to defeat that dragon and take a piece of it. Take somewhere, like, from what I remember, and I know this is like delving deep into comics. They basically go into a cave. There's a physical entity in there that they deem a dragon. Sometimes it's drawn as an actual dragon, and sometimes it's just a being that takes the form of a dragon, but they're literally fighting this being. And based on how well they perform, is not necessarily like beating the dragon the way we think, you would win a fight by knocking somebody out. The dragon or the being has to deem them worthy enough for it to bestow its power upon them to be the Iron Fist. So it's pretty much more so like a trial, if you will.
I want to point out that you have not precluded the idea that she was the first. You just said everybody does it.
Nothing she said led me to believe that she was the first. Like, she spoke as if there was protectors before her.
No,
what did she say that makes you think there were protectors before her?
I gotta remember the episode.
Because to me, nothing she said makes me believe there was an Iron Fist before her.
Okay.
So again, and I don't know much about the Iron Fist, but just that sequence kind of has me wondering, is she, because clearly we know Danny Rand isn't the first Iron Fist.
Obviously.
He shouldn't have been the Iron Fist at all.
You get no disagreement from me at all on that. And it kind of has me wondering if this young lady was the first Iron Fist. I don't know.
I think it's possible. I think it would fit well with the historical timeline they were trying to do, because, you got all of these major moments, because Memnon is a real person in Greek history. Like, he's a real person. Yeah.
It's like
Agamemnon. Yeah. And so to have him there, and then to touch on why pull a random Iron Fist, why not pull the first Iron Fist?
Yeah.
Because I also would think that if the Iron Fist was a force to be reckoned with, they would have had records of it before they went there,
Yeah.
And that's maybe what old boy was talking about. He's like, I told you something was off about my intel, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how we kind of see from this perspective going forward, the Iron Fist, much like Black Panther, is a title. It's not just a singular individual.
Right.
There will be several of this person throughout history, for X number of reasons. And to me, that's really cool. Because again, before this series, Danny Rand I knew he wasn't the only Iron Fist, but he's the only one that, I'd ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew there were Iron Fists before him. I just didn't know anything about them.
Danny Rand is the epitome of cultural appropriation, and I wish that they would kill him.
Why we don't like him?
Yes, we do not like him at all.
Like, the whole idea of Danny Rand is just played out. I wish Marvel Comics would just choose.
I mean, we already had Avatar and Dances with Wolves and The Last of the Mohicans. We did not need Danny Rand.
Right.
I would say, do you think Danny Rand was an answer to, because like Danny Rand and Oliver Queen are very similar as far as like both of them ending up in mystical and like specific areas as far as becoming of means. Oliver Queen lands on an island, becomes the Green Arrow through the training. Danny Rand, his parents die in a plane, lands in a mystic place, training, becomes Iron Fist. I think that was like Marvel's answer to that, like
Hmm.
that shtick. But they don't need to do that anymore. Like
No, they
don't
don't.
need to do
They
that
really
anymore.
don't. They should stop.
Because
Money.
one of the things they try to do with Danny Rand is make him the outcast and the outsider. And I'm like, if you really want to do that with that culture, choose an Asian American who was born and raised here in America,
Yes.
and then has to go back to China.
Yep.
And
would be
learn the ways
so
of
much
because
more
they're the next one
Yep.
chosen to be the
Mhm.
Iron Fist by lineage or some crazy circumstance, whatever, and then have them be the outsider two ways: an outsider here in America and an outsider in the country of their origin. Like
which is real. That is a real thing that Asian Americans go through, is not belonging really to either land. And
right.
to be able to explore that in a superhero movie, that would be outstanding. It's a great concept, and they won't do it.
Of course they won't do it.
No, they suck.
Because Danny Rand was created in the 70s, where the idea of white male dropped in random culture becomes master of that culture and comes back to America to be the protector of everybody.
Did Danny Rand exist before who was the dude from the series Kung Fu?
David Carradine.
David Carradine. And that was supposed to be Bruce Lee.
Mm-hmm.
They stole Bruce Lee's whole concept. They gave it to David out of shape David Carradine. Yeah.
So yep.
But all of that to say, like I said, that we needed more episodes. This was one of, if I have to split between animated and live action, this is now my favorite animated series that Marvel has done. And they did it with fewer episodes than all the other shows.
Yeah.
True.
Which is, just like Black folks, we don't ever get what we deserve and still have to be better.
Well, I don't agree with, but I do understand why they did it, because they weren't sure if people were going to attach to it. They didn't want to put too much money, so they hedged their bets with 4 episodes to see how people would take it, and they made it so they don't have to necessarily do a second season if it didn't fly, because you get from far past to far future in one season. They could always go back and intersperse other things that happen along the way, if there's an appetite for it, but they were definitely hedging their bets with this.
I mean, and one thing I'll give you a little pushback on that, Joy, only because they saw Black Panther make $1 billion worldwide.
Right.
And I know this is animation versus live action, but still, the fact that Black Panther made $1 billion worldwide, to me, that says, hey, wait a minute, people kind of like this Wakanda thing. Let's see what else we can do.
That's why
I give a little pushback to that. Not a lot, but just a little.
Yeah, and if they actually thought that, they wouldn't have canceled the Dora Milaje series before it even got started. Right.
I bet Marvel Zombies gets more than 4 episodes. That's all I'm saying.
Marvel Zombies is definitely more than 4 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
That we already know.
Because white people.
But this was so good. I'm definitely gonna watch it again, just because I know what's gonna happen. But like today, I binged because I knew we were talking about it. I was like, let me watch all of it again. And I did that today. So I was like, I'm definitely, this is one of my favorites.
And it's a quick watch too. Like you can do all of it in like the less time that it takes to watch a Lord of the Rings movie. About half the time, to be honest, because all in all, I think it's like 1 hour and 20 minutes total.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was so good.
It really was.
Well, all I can say is, much like everything else we get, like we said with Ironheart, keep watching it over and over and over again. They see people are constantly watching it. Maybe somebody will, get off their brain and actually think, oh, people like this. Let's try to do something else with it.
Good point.
Up the streaming numbers. I hate to keep bringing it up. That's how Young Justice finally came back with seasons 3 and 4. So,
yeah,
Young Justice was good.
We still need season 5 though. Final thoughts before we move on, or anything else we want to add here about Eyes of Wakanda?
We need another season. We definitely need another season.
Yeah,
I like the balance that they had in the whole show. So you have strong people of both genders in a binary world. Strong people of both genders, generals that are women, similar to the Dora Milaje. You know, you've got tacticians, you've got stories that go a little bit deeper, you got friendships and everything. Scholars as well as soldiers. The Third Son issue was really interesting. So I think they did a good job of. It's just well written, good stories and good use of talent all the way through.
So somebody brought up a good point. The last episode, The Last Panther, right before her arrival, you can see Uatu the Watcher in the clouds.
What? I gotta go watch it again now.
Yeah, I gotta go watch it again because I missed that.
I'm wondering if this is gonna, if because of the popularity, if they do another What If season, if they do something tied to this as far as the future, it'd be really dope.
Last I heard, What If was done after season 3.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, that final season we got was it.
Okay.
Damn. Look, I love What If, and before this, What If was my favorite show on Disney Plus.
Before this,
period. Like of everything on Disney Plus live action anime, What If was number 1. It is now number 2 behind Eyes of Wakanda. So. But yeah,
I love the fact that it begins and ends essentially with Killmonger.
Yeah.
With that axe.
Yeah.
The axe of destiny.
Because I forget what the lion's real name is, but to me, that's kind of where Killmonger was going to head had he lived.
Yeah.
So they started and ended with Killmonger, and I loved it.
Which is why that Black Panther the ultimate universe Black Panther right now in the comics is so freaking good. I'm excited to see what they do with Eric Killmonger on that. Because
you say that, I'm actually surprised they brought back the Ultimate Universe.
Man, he is cooking.
So, all right. Another thing Marvel dropped recently: Fantastic Four.
Kyle, I need you to hear me when I say this. You listening?
Yeah.
You ready? Fantastic Four. It's not as good as Superman.
What? It wasn't. I'll see. You're saying what I already know. You're saying what I already know. I could have told you that.
But you never have anybody on your side on these shows,
right.
so
I
make a point.
I appreciate that.
You ungraciously accepted it, so now I'm just gonna be quiet. Can I help you at all?
I appreciate that, Joy.
I'm gonna disagree, if only because they're two totally different types of films.
Okay.
See, I don't think so.
They are,
okay.
And I'm gonna tell you why. So I'm watching Fantastic Four, and from beginning to end, everything that happened with the dynamic between the 4 main characters, everything played out like I was watching a daytime soap opera.
Okay.
I'm still not hearing a valid argument.
So nothing like what happened in Superman. Right. Like Superman was pretty much just action and your regular drama or whatever. Soap opera drama is just a whole different type of drama to me. Right. Okay. As far as the whole family dynamic of who's doing what to who behind someone else's back that they don't want them to know about or whatever. And that's what I felt like watching Fantastic Four, because you got Johnny, who low-key, one of the smartest people on the planet, apparently, and nobody else of the other 3 wants to give him the time of day to even open his mouth and say, hey, I figured something out.
Okay. Only because he thought she was attractive.
So as somebody who didn't watch the Fantastic Four, but I've had to deal with them in the comics, what is it that Johnny did in the movie? And again, that makes you think he's as smart as you just said he is.
He deciphered the language.
He deciphered the language. Yeah.
He deciphered the language.
The boy can barely read. How is he deciphering other languages?
What I want to know is when they went up to space to get their powers, all of the ticker tape stuff said 4 of the most brilliant minds on the planet, and they all just happen to be related to each other and a best friend. That don't jive for me. There's some nepotism and cronyism going on in there somewhere.
Right, because
we know on that plane.
We know from the comics that Ben Grimm he's not stupid by any means.
Right.
And that's pretty much how they treated him in this film. They treated Ben like an afterthought in a lot of this movie, though. They really did.
I will say whoever that the black lady was, who was their PR lady, she was going through hell the entire film. The entire
And
film.
she rode 10 toes down for them
Right.
all the way through. She was like, I got y'all no matter what.
Right.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah.
do like I like what they did with Sue Storm, because in my limited exposure to the Fantastic Four, first of all, not nary movie before this. I said what I said. He's a pilot.
The movie
What
should have
else
put
did
some
he do?
respect on his name. The
What
movie
else
should
did
have
he
put
do in the
respect on his
movie?
name because they treated him
Joy,
dirty.
He isn't just a pilot, he's a chef. He's also a chef.
Ooh.
That's
And a
superhero stuff right there.
And a street brawler. Because what's the name of the Yancey Street gang?
Oh, I think that's it. The Yancey Street
That's it.
Gang.
Well, no,
Street
it's
gang,
got a number in it. I just can't think of what the number is.
Oh.
But yeah.
Yeah. There.
He's also a chef.
He's the bear.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
he's a man. He's cousin.
Oh man. Go ahead, Joy.
I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, so to add to what I forgot about saying is yeah, like the whole premise of the four of them going up there and getting powers and coming back. Okay, and then what? I hear you, James, saying that you can't say that one is better than the other because it's apples and oranges.
Mhm.
However, I don't like oranges. I like apples. And so in this case, the apple far outweighed the orange, which is leaning towards grapefruit for me, which I'm allergic to. Like, I like the movie. I don't need to see it again.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair.
Yeah.
But Superman, like if it was on, I would probably watch it just to see Lois hand Superman his tail when she was interviewing him. That was hilarious.
Oh, that was such a good scene.
Sue Storm. Now that I think about another strong woman, Sue Storm. So that's what I was talking about with Sue. Is generally speaking, in my limited experience with the Fantastic Four, she's always kind of like, like they play her down a lot, at least in the things that I've seen, which means in the mainstream stuff that comes out, because I'm only mainstream. They play her as the damsel in distress, like she's invisible because she's invisible, and something like that. And it's really kind of depressing, nigh on, and here I was a little miffed because I'm watching Sue Storm like solve world hunger and like broker world peace and like do all this stuff, and she's still Reed's wife.
Right.
Yeah.
Their powers were secondary to who they were as people. Okay, that's fair. That's
and
fair.
also, Joy, to what you just said about she's always going to be Reed's wife. Think about the time period that this movie takes place, or at least, again, I didn't see it, but from the commercials, it looks as though it takes place in a futuristic past.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's almost steampunk level 50s.
Like timeless,
yeah. So
like
in that era,
60s.
She, unfortunately, the way women were treated in that era, she was just Reed's wife, unfortunately.
But on top of that as well, they actually did her justice as far as her powers, which, yes, blurredography, one of the most powerful women in Marvel, and they treated her as the most powerful member of this group as well. That was acknowledged, that she is the strongest member of this group, and it's not close.
Right. I don't know how Reed got her. She is so out of his league. Before the powers.
Well, that holds true because that's pretty much how it's written in the comics as well.
Because Namor
out of his league, and everyone who's read Fantastic Four always has the same question: like, how did Reed end up with her?
Did you guys like Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards?
No,
I did. Because he played the neurotic overthinker pretty well to me.
Okay.
Still, yes.
I thought they were heavy-handed with his neurodiversity in that he's like, I can do a math equation for everything, bruh. How about you talk to somebody? I understand that you are, conversation avoidant and whatnot, but you're the de facto leader of the Fantastic Four. Sue should have been leader. And him trying to put everything on a chalkboard was a little annoying to me. Like, bruh, just admit you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
He can't, because to him, like, there is a solution for everything, and if he just puts his mind to it, he can figure it out if given time.
But everything ain't math. You know, matter of
True,
fact,
yep.
if he had a little bit more tact, he wouldn't have had a whole mob of people trying to kill his whole family. Because the decision they made was very selfish. It was not.
Yeah.
It was not utilitarian in that the sacrifice that was being asked of them made sense for world peace or world safety, whatever. Although there is an argument to be made that the sacrifice that was asked would have made things worse down the line.
Yeah.
But say that. Don't just be like, no, I wasn't doing that. Bruh, now everybody hates you. And it's because you don't know how to talk to people, which has nothing to do with math.
Right.
I do corporate stuff all day, every day. And one of the things I'm always trying to teach people is like, it doesn't matter how many degrees you got behind your name. You don't know how to talk to people. And that's why your company is failing.
Which
Right?
is why I think Sue was the real leader in this film. Because like she's like the vocal leader, because that speech that she gave helped people understand, like, hey, I'm not sacrificing my son, but I'm not sacrificing y'all either.
And if he had let her speak the first time, she wouldn't have had to do all that, right?
Yeah.
Well, she did just give birth when they got back, so
That's
another thing. The scientist in me is like, no way, no way. Gravity should have killed that kid.
I'm not gonna give up my magic baby. Speaking of my magic baby, did they do a good job of showing the potential powerhouse that Franklin Richards can be?
Yes.
not really.
So again, like we said at the top, spoilers, and I know you don't care. Sue practically dies, and Franklin brings her back to life.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
nice.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
true.
true, yeah.
Nice.
I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they
not
do
want those powers in
because
Galactus.
that's why Galactus wants him and wants him before he's even born.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because Reed, like when they pretty much announced fairly early in the film, they're having a baby.
Mhm.
And Reed's doing all types of tests because the main thing he wants to know is this kid's definitely going to have powers because my wife has powers. I have powers. We've been trying forever. We've had powers the last 4 years. We've been trying. Nothing's worked. And kids got to have powers. So Reed is, like Joy said earlier, all these machines and calculations he's doing all to figure out if this kid's going to have powers. Like any test he could think of, he created just to show, just to prove that the kids want to have powers, and nothing proved right, only to find out that when they finally met Galactus is like, yeah, your kid's got powers. He's like, no, he doesn't. Oh, he doesn't want you to know he has powers. He's been hiding them.
Yeah.
That part right there.
In the womb. He was not born yet and was not allowing his powers to be discovered by his own father.
And the fact that Galactus knew, to me, that's a testament to his power as well as Galactus's cosmic awareness.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it was. Because Galactus was like, yeah, birth your kid so I can take him and he can go ahead and take over for me at some point.
Yeah. And I think that's another thing that was in the movie is that Galactus, the hunger that he faced, he was kind of tired of it. He's like, yeah, give me your kids so I can let them have this hunger and I can go lay down.
Yeah, I'm passing this on because I'm tired.
And all they did, yeah. And they did Galactus dirty at the end.
Dirty how?
He should have been more competent to fall for that trap. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they create. They're trying to create a wormhole to push him like what, 500 million light years away or something.
And that's another scientific plot hole, because when they were doing the teleportation practice, there was a thing here and a thing there, and you teleported something on this pad, like the fly, over to this pad, and then they just built a teleporter on Earth. Where was he going? What was the other side? Nothing. Nothing. It did not make sense. Boo.
So no ultimate nullifier.
You don't want you to know.
Yep.
So no ultimate nullifier.
No ultimate nullifier. No.
Oh man.
Yeah. Thanks, Marvel writers. They did write themselves in a corner in some spots in this film. But yeah, Silver Surfer pretty much played like Silver Surfer. They didn't like stretch the boundaries or anything with the Silver Surfer in any way, shape, or form. Same thing, just like protect my planet, I'll be your herald, and boom, but you'll never know where your planet is again. So that's how she knew of her planet, she just never knew where it was. And when they first went to meet Galactus, Johnny flies off to talk to her, and she says something in her native tongue to him. And they had all these recordings because Reed being Reed, sending probes out into deep space just to see if there's anything else out there.
Mm-hmm.
And every time he got sound back, he put it on a vinyl record and handed it to Johnny. And Johnny would just sit in the room listening to it. And he recognized the language when she spoke it. And when he asked her, what does it mean? So she said what it means. And from that one phrase, he translated her entire language in like 2 weeks.
Yep. Which is cool.
I'm sure linguistics people everywhere was watching going, you need way more than that shit.
Exactly. They were, they were just as mad as I was with you teleporting into nowhere. Like,
Right.
did you build something on the other end? Where's the receiver? Boo. It's F. It's boo. This orange tastes terrible.
Yep. This sounds like a movie that I'll definitely be waiting until it comes to Disney Plus to actually sit down and watch.
Yes.
Or, however else you watch stuff.
Or pirate.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that because when I watched oh crap, what was the Dawn of Justice that way? The missing special effects were just not, it wasn't worth it.
Okay. Fair
It wasn't
enough.
worth it.
Well, I mean, Dawn of Justice wasn't worth it either. So there's that.
Yeah.
That's fair. Nope, we're not talking about that right
No, we're
now.
not talking about that.
I'll just agree for now and say that's fair.
Mm-hmm. I took that bullet for you.
Oh no, I've seen that movie and we can talk about it later, but for now, that's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, that was Johnny's whole thing. And like I said, they made him, they talked about him as being like a ladies' man, but it didn't show it in any way, real shape or form throughout this film.
Because the dude playing Johnny can't get it. Like, bruh, what is you?
But the dude playing Jimmy Olsen could.
The dude who played Jimmy Olsen wasn't exactly like, a powerhouse sex symbol either.
But that's what made it so funny is because you see this dude who is very unassuming and very boy next door, and clearly he's a tripod because everybody's coming for him. Right? But what y'all don't know about women is once we find out something is worthwhile, since there's very little worthwhile out there, we telling. We telling everybody. Come get some of this community gifts.
Tripod.
Yes. Meanwhile, this dude over here living with his sister. He ain't got no house of his own. He's a super scientist and everything, but his special power is flames, and you be trying not to burn when you date somebody. So that's not
oh my God.
See, that to me is what made Chris Evans' version of Johnny Storm, as far as I'm concerned, the best we've seen on screen yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is that is the question. People like now that they had Johnny Storm, Chris Evans Storm in Deadpool.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do with this guy? Like, how they do that?
Right. But
yeah, he did kind of have a little bit of a connection with the Silver Surfer, enough to make her want to help him eventually.
Right.
But I don't know if that was sex appeal or just humanity.
The latter.
Just
the
empathy. Because she had been through, because he understood her language, he understood that she had been through what they were going through. So he appealed to that, not to, sex appeal. He's a BWC.
Oh goodness.
Mm-hmm.
So, Curious, you're familiar with this because I think you know about this better than I do in comics from reading this. Like Johnny sacrifices himself at some point.
Yes, they're fighting. Yeah, I forget who they're fighting, but yes, Johnny does sacrifice himself so that the rest of the team can escape.
Okay.
It's got something to do with the negative zone, and I forget the specifics. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
so
they
did play homage to that in this film because at the final battle with Galactus pretty much is on the planet. They have this one teleporter left. They're trying to push him into it, and Galactus is trying to move away from it. So Johnny's basically like fully powered up, and he's going to try to push Galactus into the wormhole of the teleporter.
Yeah.
And he's like, tell baby Franklin Uncle Johnny loves him and I was like, oh, they're going to do it. The sacrifice is going to happen. And Silver Surfer comes out of nowhere and knocks him off on his butt and pushes him in herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And see, to me, that's probably what should have happened, because I know in the comics and apparently in this movie, they portray Sue as the most powerful member of the team. Again, from reading the comics, when I see Sue Storm, all I see is force fields.
Yeah.
I don't understand how just having force fields makes you the most powerful. To me, I would have made that Johnny Storm, because we know if he heats up high enough, he can burn up the planet's atmosphere and kill all life on the planet.
True.
So to me, he should have been. I'm sorry, what did you say, Joy?
We got oligarchs doing that right now. So
well,
there's a reason it's hotter now than it was in the 70s.
Yeah, and that's what, to me, I say from what you just said, Lau, it should have been Johnny to probably make that sacrifice just with the amount of power that he wields.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he could burn up Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah, and look, I was all ready for it. I was like, oh snap, they're going to do it, and boom. I was like, oh, I guess not.
The only thing that would have
go ahead.
The only thing that would have made that scene better is if we were already in a universe where the Fantastic Four theme, the Fantastic Four, Hulk, and Thor existed, so that we could get that same sequence that happens in the comics, where Ben, there's in the comic after Johnny sacrifices himself, the Thing, Thor, and Hulk, like the Hulk and Thor come to comfort Ben Grimm, because they're the only ones strong enough to withstand the punches that he's throwing as he deals with his anger and mourning of Johnny's. Like, he lays into Thor and Hulk, and they're just like, all right, we get it. Come on, let it out.
Right. I mean,
men need to learn not to speak with their fists, man. Use your words. What's wrong with y'all now?
Fair.
That is fair.
That's fair. Yeah, absolutely.
But I get
it. That scene in the comics is just, to see the Thing break down like that, to me, would have been really interesting to see on screen.
It would have made his character more relatable, you know. I would have connected to him more, because there were times where you see him like playing with the kids, and then he's kind of got a thing for this other girl and blah blah blah. They don't really flesh all that out, you know. It feels very surface, or very like tacked on. But yeah, if he would have had to have that moment of breaking down, I think that would have been really, really touching, and it would have been very memorable. But they didn't.
Yeah, and like you said, they try to do that. They try to do that with Natasha Lyonne, her character, as the school teacher or whatever she was. Yeah. But there was only like 2 scenes, and I'm like, y'all didn't really like lay any foundational groundwork to make those 2 scenes even worth anything.
Yeah.
Because the first one was just like, you know, they have a chit chat, you know, thank you for coming by and chatting with the kids. And the second one was pretty much when everyone thought the world was going to end. So it was like, you had all this space in between. You did nothing with it with him.
How does the Thing eat and breathe and everything else? Because I'm seeing him with he has like a grinder or whatever, shaving his beard off. And if he can grow beard hair, how come he can't grow hair up here?
That was just about to ask that.
And are his internal organs rocks as well? Because it seems like his cells are generating rocks, in which case he should be dead because he can't breathe.
I'll put it to you this way. In the comics, I have never seen the Thing shave in the comics. So again, like we always say about in the movies, they're going to take some liberties that, you know, comic book nerds are going to be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Right, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Crap, there was something I meant to ask. Oh, that post, at least he had some tomatoes. The post-credit scene that we saw where in Thunderbolts with the Fantastic Four jet, do we see the beginning of that happen in this movie?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, their shuttle floating in space, and Thunderbolts getting alert, deep space, you know, orbit, object, whatever. Yeah, and they show that. That doesn't pay off here. The only
you know what? They could have made it pay off if the portal that they sent Galactus through, since they don't have a portal on the other end, it just sends you anywhere. And if they had all sacrificed themselves to push him into the portal, and he went somewhere, and they end up back over here. But why am I writing your stuff, Marvel?
Or my thing is, if Johnny does sacrifice himself, and they go looking for Johnny.
Yeah.
At that point.
Ooh, that absolutely, yeah.
That would have been nice too. But again, however they're setting up this doomsday stuff, we don't know, because these post-credit scenes lately don't seem to be tying into anything whatsoever. Except in this one, The mid-credit scene was 5 years later. Sue was reading to Franklin and telling him, we're not reading the laws of thermodynamics again. You already read that before. And going to get another book. And while she's away, power surges. She walks back and Dr. Doom is on one knee talking to Franklin.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And, fades to black and the rest of the credits roll. There's no post-credit scene because it's just a vanity card tribute to Jack Kirby, whose birthday was August 28th, 828 being the universe that this is set in.
Mm.
Gotcha. When Doom is down talking to Franklin, does he actually speak? Do you think
No.
it's actually Robert?
No.
Oh, so it's just a stand-in in the costume.
They had a stand-in, because
Okay.
it's from behind. He's holding the mask, and you really don't see his face at all. You know it's
I ain't
Doom.
paying
By
Robert Downey
clothing.
Jr. for that.
I don't know. We did see him in the post-credit scene for the Hulk movie.
What Hulk movie?
What?
Wait, what movie was the post-credit scene in with him when he's sitting at a bar?
Oh, that's the
And
Edward Norton Hulk with Robert Downey Jr. and Thomas Hurt as Thunderbolt
Ross, yes.
Yeah, I'm just saying we saw him in that post-credit scene. So,
But he was still Tony Stark then, wasn't he?
He was still Tony Stark then. Yeah, he was recruit, and he came to Thunderbolt Ross to try to let him know that we're putting a team together.
okay, fair.
So yeah,
They can't afford.
Exactly. They ain't paying RDJ for that cameo, bro. We're gonna get anybody to put the suit on.
Right.
Stunt double, where you at?
That's a good point.
Come here, put these metal leggings on, put on this green hood and cloak, and take a knee. Hold this mask.
Yup.
Right.
Don't say nothing.
Right. Could have been anybody.
Right.
Hell, may not have
Literally
been a person.
anybody. Stage hand off on the side somewhere. You ain't doing nothing in this scene. Come here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
Put this Party City costume on. Stand here for a second.
But yeah, so I mean, they've established Franklin, which is cool. And then, like I said, they did a 5-year jump, so he's going to be at least 5-6 years old next time we see them. Depending on what else is between now and Doomsday, whenever that movie's supposed to come out, because it's been pushed back 6 months.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, but yeah.
So what's up? Go ahead.
No, I'm saying like overall, like this film was a solid 7.5, 8 for me. Much like Superman was. Again, I enjoyed them both evenly for different reasons,
Mm.
but yeah, I gave them both like an 8 at best.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'd give this one a 7. I give
fair.
Superman 8.5, 9.
That's fair.
I would give Superman an 8 and this a 6.9.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Really? 6.9.
yeah, I don't know if I feel 7, but Superman was I like Superman just in the fact that this was the most human Superman has ever been to me.
As I said the last time, this Superman movie, and I am not ashamed to admit it, this Superman movie made me like Superman.
Yeah.
Because historically, I have not liked Superman at all.
Yeah, I think the concept of needing the help, because it's like that's the odd thing. It's like Superman generally is not a team movie, right? But that movie showed teamwork a lot better than the Fantastic Four movie did, which is the actual team. So it's
You make a good point.
yeah,
because at the end of this film, they were kind of like all over the place.
Mhm.
Like they were all over the place only because, like what Mike Tyson says, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
right.
And they had a plan, and Galactus punched them in the mouth, and it was pretty much, all right, make it up as we go. We just still need to get him to that point over there and do it however you do it.
Right.
So that's pretty much how that worked out. So yeah, it was they just had no plan B because Reed always thinks plan A is going to work.
You know what? Of this year, yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I really like the Thunderbolts movie.
No.
I don't know about that.
No.
I don't know about that
one.
No. I would not say that.
It depends on your definition of a superhero movie. And the reason I say that is if you're looking for the powers and the fights and the superhero-ness of it all. But as a movie, the using depression as a plot advancing point And I really liked the Black Widow character's connection with the villain and all of that stuff. And then watching it grow, I thought they did a really good job of that character development and that whole arc with just enough comic timing in the background to keep it lighter. Because it was a movie about depression. It was a movie about mental health. And so that's why I say it was the best movie that happened to be of the superhero movies that have come out this year. I like that one the best because it's the one I talked about for the longest. You know? Okay. Yeah, anti-hero movie. Like because they were so downtrodden and pitiful, again, they're relatable. You want to be a superhero, but you ain't got no powers other than good aim.
And that's why I can't call it a superhero movie because none of them have any powers.
So I'll say this about the Thunderbolts. I felt like I was watching, and forgive me for saying this if this offends anybody, don't really care. I felt like I was watching a remake of The Losers.
Oh yeah.
The Losers, or what was the name of that show with Ben Stiller in it? And they were all like second-rate superheroes.
Oh, Mystery Man.
Oh, the Mystery Man. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I felt like I was watching a remake of The Losers for me anyway, because
I'm a blood argument. Yeah, the hug was everything, and then understanding. So if you understand some things about mental illness, what is the blonde girl's name? It's not Natasha.
Yelena Belova.
Yelena's willingness to go into the darkness to get him.
Yeah,
is a big deal when it comes to how you affect someone or even impact someone that is going through like a depressive break, you know? Yeah. So I thought that was really well done. And then they all had to go through it, you know? Yeah. And then the fact that inside his mind, people just reliving their worst moments over and over again. And you talk to people that have dealt with severe anxiety and severe depression, and they tell you, all I can do, I can't get out of bed because all I can do is think about this thing that went horribly wrong or this thing that isn't right in my life. And so, yeah. And even watching him from coming out of that box to wanting to be a good person, to being told that he's being controlled all over again, and then being told that he's not good enough. And the fact that the one woman that you thought was going to have your back tried to kill you by setting something off in your brain. Yeah, I'm going straight dark. I'm going full villain at this point. They created that villain, you know?
To me, the Thunderbolts was the better movie. Superman is a better superhero movie.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So maybe Thunderbolts is the best Marvel movie this year.
No,
It's just been those two, right?
Captain America.
Oh crap! Okay, no, I like Captain America just because I'm black.
As far as the Marvel films, I will stand 10 toes down. I think Captain America is the better of the three films this year. Like you're not going to change my mind on that.
I'm not trying to.
Not you, but I'm just saying, like, just in general. But yeah, it followed the beats of pretty much what I've read of Sam Wilson as Captain America, minus the whole self-doubt thing. But I have issue with that because I watched Captain America, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which he already had that little existential crisis there. So to see it again played on the big screen, again, for those who have seen the series, it's kind of like, we got to do this again. But I felt like it was more so for people who didn't watch the series.
That's what I thought too.
That they threw that in there. So, yeah.
And also just the fact that people were like, why is he Captain America? Like, didn't you see the series? Right. Why are you asking this question? If the title, just like Thunderbolts, the title changed from, don't put some comments up. The title changed from Falcon and the Winter Soldier to Captain America and the Winter Soldier. You know,
and even if you didn't see the series, you saw Infinity War, and at the end of the movie, Steve gave Sam his shield. So even if you didn't see that, you know that Sam Wilson has the shield.
Yep.
And I like the dynamic of him having to deal with racism and people assuming that he's not worthy just because he's black. Racism and white supremacy, two different things. Having to deal with all of that, even though the last Captain America gave him the shield and said, you are the next Captain America. And they're like, nah, we can do better than that. Let's go make the evil version of Captain America.
Junior Varsity Captain America.
Right, Junior Varsity Captain America.
Great volume Captain America.
And I'll say this, in the comics, when Sam Wilson becomes Captain America, they go so much harder in the "you're not my Captain America" arena than you would. The way they did it in the comics, you probably couldn't show that on screen on a movie and still have it be a PG or PG-13 rated movie.
Right.
But in the comics, it was rough.
Yeah, because I imagine some of those writers were people of color.
Yeah.
Simone.
Hey, Simone.
Hey, see, I don't necessarily think you have to always have the true origin for these characters in the movies. To me, when I look at the movies, to me, the movies are just another universe. Like 616 is the main Marvel comic universe. To me, the movies are just, I don't know, 1302 or whatever their number is. It's just another universe with the same characters, slightly different than 616.
Right.
So I'm cool with them taking liberties and doing some things different.
Right. As long as they don't mess with like canon events,
Yeah. Or again, like Black Panther, people always say, well, why can't we have a white dude as Black Panther? Because Wakanda has never been conquered by an outside force, you idiot. So as long, like you said, as long as they don't mess with stuff like that.
Right.
I mean,
they would never
Captain America.
Say what?
I said they got Captain America anyway. I mean, it doesn't help that, T'Challa and T'Chaka have both beaten his ass, but
I mean, it's like any boxing match for the most part.
Don't take this ass.
I just watched that the other day.
Personal.
President of the United States.
Oh man. Shenanigans. Anything else we want to talk about before we get out of here this evening?
If you have not seen the movie Weapons, damn it, go see that movie.
Oh, okay. That's one of the little kids with the weird pelican run, right?
Naruto running.
Yes, it is. I thought it was an excellent movie.
Okay.
All right.
Would you say it's probably one of the better films of the year? Better than Sinners?
Yes.
Okay.
No, not better than Sinners.
Not better than Sinners? Okay.
Not better than Sinners, but definitely one of the better films of this year.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That excites me.
Yeah.
So there's a question: didn't Marvel make a white Black Panther? If that's his half son, he's still black.
No, he's called the White Wolf. He's the adopted brother in the comics. He's the adopted brother of T'Challa, and he's called the White Wolf. In the MCU, the White Wolf title was given to Bucky, which they allude to in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So if you watch that, you would have gotten that part as well. That he is now the White Wolf, not whoever the actual White Wolf is.
I think they said it in Endgame too, didn't they? Or no, Infinity War. Like when they went to get him and he didn't have his armor on, whatever. And I feel like
the White Wolf has to fight again. Yes. Yes. But yeah.
I was gonna say, doesn't T'Challa have a white son?
It's impossible for T'Challa to have a white son because he is black.
Yeah. I was kind of how would that work, Kyle?
Katema. Is his name Katema? It's not he's not a white guy? Not a white kid? Okay.
No, T'Challa does not have a white son. Adopted or not. Well, it would have to be adopted, and that's the case. Why would he do that? And any child that he has is by default going to be black. More than one drop because your daddy is a whole African.
That part.
Oh gosh. Anything else anybody else is seeing that they want to drop real quick or going to see?
So go ahead.
No, go ahead, Joy. Go ahead.
So this is way off topic, but it's available to anybody that wants to watch something good. There is a K-drama called Mercy for None. And so K-dramas tend to have similar to K-pop, people think it's all like cutesy and fun romantic comedies and they held hands on it. This is straight up violence and it is glorious. If
subbed or dubbed?
If they are dubbed, no, subtitle. Yeah, subtitle.
Okay.
Korean with English subtitles. It's on Netflix. It's called Mercy for None.
Okay.
And the whole premise of the show is this dude who was like a really a badass in previous years has retired from the game. They kind of put him out the game, telling you go over there, don't bother us in the mob game. And then something happens to his brother, and then he has to come. No, then he has to come back and avenge his brother. Here's the thing, though: they cut his Achilles heel years ago, just so other people have a fighting chance with him. He's not a superhero; he's just that good of a fighter. And similar to like if you watch Sakamoto Days, the way Sakamoto would grab whatever's handy and beat you with it, yeah, it's great. It's great. That movie is good. There's another one called Bloodhounds, which follows a boxer trying to like set things right in his neighborhood and everything. And again, the fights are amazing. And so not all, because I mean, Squid Games is a K-drama. And so once you recognize that they aren't, K-drama doesn't just mean like soap opera, romantic comedy, that anything similar to like any type of music that comes from Korea is K-pop, even if it's heavy metal or ballads, any type of serial show that comes out of Korea is a K-drama. And so Mercy for None, check it out. It's only like maybe 10 episodes or so. It's not a long show because people keep dying. So, you run out of people, the show's over.
You would think so, but somewhere they always find more henchmen.
The henchman brigade is like deep. Like that's like 10% of the population is henchmen.
Look, I have always said that if the evil organization of Cobra actually existed, I would sign up because they got healthcare.
No, I don't think you want to do that.
I mean, look, I'm not. First of all, I'm not going up there to fight G.I. Joe. I'm gonna just do maintenance.
But as a member of Cobra, the faceless, they will decide where you go.
You
don't make that decision. You don't get to make that decision.
You'll be a janitor today and a janitor with a weapon tomorrow.
Look, I will work under Tomax and Zaymon in the business department and make sure the financials stay legit.
I'd be willing to bet Cobra operates a lot like the Marines. Even though you're a cook, you're still a cook with a gun.
Yeah. Every rifleman, I remember hearing that. Mm-hmm.
So you'll get sent into combat eventually. Mm-hmm. At least as a Joe, they recognize you're intelligent and will put you somewhere to keep you out of danger.
Whatever. Breaker, dial tone, Lifeline, they gave all of them guns and half of them didn't want to fight. The only Joe who never fought was Doc.
True.
Doc is the only Joe who never picked up a gun and shot at anybody.
Okay.
Yeah. So you'll be going to combat then.
Yes.
Again.
You're not Doc. Cobra, you sick? We're getting rid of you. That does sound like something Cobra Commander would say.
Somebody will walk you to what you think is the infirmary, and then you start to notice it's fewer and fewer people, and then that person comes back alone, and we never see James again.
Right. I can hear Cobra Commander now. Oh, you have a cold? Let me send you to the infirmary, and then it's just like a Spartan kick to the chest off the end of the mouth. This is Cobra. La, 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 la.
Oh man,
I can see it.
Wow, really?
Baroness, I will end you.
Nice.
I'm too young for this part of the conversation.
I am pretty much close to finishing The Daily Life of the Immortal King. I am thoroughly enjoying it. The premise is that everybody has mystic powers, and the main character has pretty much been the strongest person ever born with these mystic powers from day one. And
what is this on?
It's on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
And it's in English.
Mm-hmm.
And so like he has an addiction to crispy noodles for some strange reason that they do explain, but it's still strange to me. He a frog made him jump his crispy noodles when he was like 10, and he basically kicked this frog unconscious. It was like a big giant demon.
10 stories tall.
Hmm?
You got to say the frog was like 10 stories
Yeah,
tall.
the frog was huge. It was a big ass demon frog, like a kaiju.
Yeah.
That came down to try to destroy the city, and because when he landed, the boy dropped his crunchy noodles or whatever. He literally walked up to the frog, jumped 10 stories in the air, flip kick, and knocked him unconscious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not a great descriptor for what goes on in this show. Just know that he's overpowered all the time.
All the time.
But he's trying to be like a regular high school kid.
Person.
So it's kind of it's a good show.
Well, in my effort to branch out and watch some types of anime that I wouldn't normally watch, I just added it to my list on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah,
there's also something on Crunchyroll. I haven't finished it. I got away from it, but it was good. I just need to get back to it. To Be Hero X.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is kind of half cell shaded, half CGI. But the stories are good. And just when you get like the first half of it follows one character, and then they leave you hanging with that. And I'm waiting on them to go back to that. But then they introduce all these other characters. The premise of the show is if people believe in you, you gain the powers they believe you to have. So, like, for example, one guy like held up a building from falling on a baby, and they believed that he was like super strong. So all of his powers were around being strong and holding things up and holding things back. And so that was his superpower. Another one, they believed he could fly, so he could. And so, but when people stop believing in you, you lose your power. So, PR is a part of this as well.
Gotcha.
And
please don't stop believing me. Please don't stop believing in me while I'm flying.
Exactly.
I've heard things about King of the Hill. I'm not gonna watch King of the Hill.
I didn't watch the original. I did for a while, but I have no desire to watch the revival of that.
Not going back.
I'm going to watch it because of the changes that I have heard have happened on the show. And it's not necessarily changes, but it's just those characters are older and have evolved.
Okay.
So I'm interested in, like, I'll say this because it's in one of the trailers. Who was the Laotian girl he used to date when he was a little kid?
Connie.
Is well, I don't remember if they ever say she's outright polyamorous, but there are clearly strong indications that she is ethically non-monogamous and is talking what's his name? And talking to Bobby about it. So yeah, it's from what I've seen in the trailers, it's interesting and I do want to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say Alien Earth.
Ooh. Yeah.
We gotta. I don't know how we go if we can squeeze it in one talk, but Alien Earth. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like that, and then of course, Peacemaker comes back on this week. So sure.
Peacemaker's always a good time.
Alien Earth has been excellent so far. The thing though that I like is Alien Earth takes place in the timeline before Alien.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some things that we know they have to happen in order for Alien to take place. So it's going to be interesting seeing how we get there.
I'm trying to think the Alien. What's the Alien movie that came out last year? That was Alien.
Romulus.
What as far as time frame? Where does that take place?
Romulus is after Alien, but before Aliens.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So essentially, okay. All right, that makes sense.
Because do you remember what happened? Because the ship, it's on FX and Hulu.
Yes.
So remember the ship at the end of Alien that the ship that they're on. That's the ship that you see in Romulus. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because they're like what are they, like scavengers?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Alien Earth, where is that playing?
FX and Hulu.
Yeah. If you don't have either one of those, there are ways. There are ways.
I did want to bring up one other show, Damascus.
Yeah, it's on Tubi.
How are you watching that? It's on Tubi?
It's on Tubi, which is free.
Tubi is free? Well, it should be because I've seen it. Tubi things. Okay, I will actually go get Tubi then.
And the short description is that a black man on a know thyself mission begins experimenting with immersion therapy that sends him to alternate timelines of his own life. And apparently AMC has had this show since 2020, 2021 and refused to show it.
Wow. Yeah, when I saw that, I would say when I saw that it's a mix of Black Mirror and Atlanta, I was like, okay.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Has anybody watched the new season of Black Mirror yet?
Yes,
I'm always slow on Black Mirror.
Yes, I have, and it is very telling, as far as current societal matters.
Too close to home.
I will say one of the episodes, very much so.
Okay.
If I haven't watched, I've only seen like 3 episodes of Black Mirror. Do I need to have more foundation than that to watch this new series?
I will, as far as Damascus or the...
No, Black Mirror.
So I'll say with Black Mirror, because my fiance, she hadn't seen all of Black Mirror, and she watched the newest season. I'll say it's more enriching because there are certain things that happen within the episodes that you're like, oh, okay, they're like nods to previous seasons, but it's not necessary that you have to have watched the previous seasons. I will say again, very, very timely. Some of the episodes are very timely and can hit very close to home. So you may be intrigued, you may be kind of put off by some of them. So yeah.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm playing catch up on Strange New Worlds, so it's not like I'm going to start watching it tomorrow.
Yeah, because very few episodes actually directly connect to each other across Black Mirror anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
so it's like Fargo.
It happens, but it's rare because Black Mirror is basically like an anthology.
Yeah.
You know, every season is just a different set of episodes, all one-offs and everything, but there are nods and things to previous episodes from an earlier season. Yeah, clues and Easter eggs.
I will say that they did have one season where it's like a where is it? It starts off and then they all tie in together. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
And that's Netflix, right?
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay.
That is the Netflix.
One thing though, Joy, talking about Tubi, even though it's like right now, I went to go look at Tubi to go make sure and grab Damascus. Like they're showing straight out of Compton, so they have a mixture of
like really good shows and total trash movies.
Yes,
ratchetness and righteousness. It's a good balance.
Ratchetness and righteousness.
Yeah. Like I got a friend that she and I used to have Bad Movie Friday, and it would always be something from Tubi.
Mm-hmm.
War of the Worlds, Ice Cube, War of the Worlds.
I didn't know that was Prime. But
unfortunately, that is on Amazon Prime.
I heard it got like a 3% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's bad.
I had friends telling me that this was going to be the movie of the year. I was like, I did not know what you guys are smoking, but I could tell by that trailer, this movie is about to be trash.
IMDb has it at a 2.6 out of 10.
Wow.
And just because of that, it's worth checking out.
2.6, even that's kind of high.
No,
and
my
that's
time is valuable.
And that's with 23,000 people rating it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I kind of want to see it just to see how bad it is.
I got too much other stuff to watch to waste my time on.
That part.
Everybody else has already told me it's trash.
Yeah, because like I don't even know if I want to put on this background noise while I'm working.
You could be watching
something. There are other things I could watch. Like
one clip that I saw of a review. What did the guy say? He says it looks like Ice Cube is seeing the script for the very first time. I was like, damn, that's bad.
That would make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
That will make a hell of a lot of sense. All right.
Instead of you reading the script and learning about the movie, we're just gonna film you reading the script, and then that way it'll be cheaper and we can finish faster.
There you go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Hell, he's got a song that says "Don't trust him," so don't trust this movie either.
Oh my.
Mhm.
I'm just saying.
Wait a minute. So see now I'm thoroughly confused as to your music history, because how do you know that song, but other stuff that's way more popular you don't?
I actually have the Predator.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I have Predator on cassette.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have the Predator on cassette.
Fun fact, that was a
play that on?
Not now, no.
That was my very first CD that I purchased with my money.
Yeah. Predator and Martin Lawrence Talking Shit were the first two things I bought for myself for my Walkman, because I had always had a Walkman. You know, the Walkman had radio stations and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I never had tapes to put into it, cassettes to put into it until then. And I was like, what, my sophomore year in high school? So yeah.
Cool.
Trust this movie.
He had a lot of misses.
I mean, Friday was cool.
His son has a better career track than he does.
Right.
He really does.
Yeah, he does.
Speaking of his son, have y'all seen the clip where his son is on somebody's show and they're talking
playing
about today was a good day, and he was like, how do you feel knowing that this song is about your mom?
And dude was like, F you. What else can you say? I'm sure that's not the first time he's heard that.
I got a beat from Kim.
And
That's
she
his
can do
mom.
it all night.
Hey, blurredography, man. We know you a child, dudes. We know you 12. Chill.
Right. And then past your bedtime, go to bed. You got homework.
Don't make me call your mama on you.
Right. Just because you got a little older over the weekend don't mean you can start acting grown.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Oh man. Anything else anybody want to get into before we get out of here for the night?
Nah, let's go.
No.
Go watch some good TV, people. There's a lot of good stuff on right now. Go find something to watch.
Right.
If you're bored or sad or just there's a lot of
the world is a
TV
mess.
on
Find something
right
to
now.
escape into.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Anime. Watch it. Even if it's Dragon Ball.
Lots of good anime on. Yeah, absolutely.
Even if it's Dragon Ball. And if you want to join the cult, watch One Piece.
Yeah.
I want somebody to make a dessert themed anime and call it Eat the Cake anime.
Yeah, that's a good note to end on for the night. So we will see y'all next month.
Simone, wait, I am absolutely going to K-pop Demon Hunters sing along on Sunday at Regal Cinemas. I was going to mention that, but I was like, they don't want to hear that. So yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters was started on Netflix. It's such a world. Like, I was listening to the soundtrack earlier and I realized that I listened to Golden, which is one of the bigger songs off the soundtrack, 3 different times in 3 different languages. Like, it is a mega hit. And so they're doing kind of like Rocky Horror Picture Show. They're doing a sing along in the theater. Me and Erica are going on Sunday. And so I think Simone is going too.
Good.
Do you think K-pop sing-alongs will ever get as big as the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Rocky Horror Picture Show is singular in its appeal to that. And it's because people like to dress up and do all that kind of stuff. K-pop Demon Hunters has a lot of people cosplaying it, but I don't know if it's going to have the longevity and like the every year coming back to do it kind of a feeling of the other movie.
Rocky Horror.
Yeah,
Okay,
Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah.
Okay.
It can.
I would like to see it up for an Oscar though, for best soundtrack or best score, best song. I would love to see the lady that is singing, because the lady that is singing the major parts of the songs was a K-pop idol that never like really debuted. And they've been sitting on this voice in Korea for decades and didn't let her like debut with a group or whatever. And now here she is. Cool. Yeah, I'm not dressed up for this one either. Because it doesn't really like the things that they wear in the movie aren't so iconic that people be like, oh, that's what you're playing, unless you get this long purple braid.
Right.
Everybody else is kind of wearing clothes.
It's more so the songs themselves than the actual attire of the characters.
Right. But I really hope that since this was an American-made movie, because Netflix backed it all, I hope it gets up for an Oscar. Best animated movie. It could easily win Best Animated Movie, and it could probably win Best Song as well.
Cool.
Best
that
new
would
artist. I was gonna say best new artist. Grammy. No.
Ooh.
I don't know, because I mean, best new artist implies you about to do some more music, and this might be a
Right.
one and done. You know,
that is true.
Hey, there's been one and done to win best new artist.
true.
That is true. As
Who
far
was
as
that group?
as far as Oscars though, you'd have to get, that 70 some odd percent majority who don't like to go out and or sit at home and watch stuff that doesn't feature them to watch this.
Yeah.
Well, that has been happening. A whole lot of people have watched K-pop Demon Hunters. Like the soundtrack alone has stayed on Spotify's #1 for like weeks now. One of the songs off that is always #1. And then there was a question or a reference here when I said that Rocky Horror Picture Show was singular. Lord Ark, because I go to by Hamilton, different vibe. Hamilton. There's a lot of sing-alongs on Disney Plus where you can kind of sing along to it, but going to a theater and belting it out in
With
costume every year for the last 30 years, I don't think any of them are going to reach that level.
Yeah.
Rocky Horror Picture Show is a cult.
Something. Yeah, it is a cult. 40 some years almost. Yeah.
Yeah, you look at Susan Sarandon, she's like 100 now. She's like 25 in that show.
Oh man. All right. And on that note, we will get out of here for the evening. Thank y'all for joining us. Appreciate everyone in the chat. Simone, we missed you on this side of the chat tonight. So I know you got a lot of stuff going on in conventions or whatnot. So have fun. Hopefully we get you next month. And we will see all of you next month for more stuff that we'll be watching. So good night, everybody.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. If this the land of the free, was a freedom then. When they annexed Hawaii and called it cedar lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves the Republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No regard for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. We will. So if we put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course. Cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No regard for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will.